What is up, everybody? It's the Inhuman One here with part 14 of the ultimate 100% walkthrough for Lies of P. In this stream, I'll show you exactly how to get through the Arch Abbey inner walls, I should say, and also we'll get all the way to Luxatia the Complete. This series is designed to let you know how to get 100% of all items in the game in one single playthrough, and also how to get the true ending. So, without further ado, let's do a quick recap and then we'll get started. In the last stream, we were able to storm the outer walls and we defeated the Black Cat, reached this Stargazer right here. One thing that I would like to do, because I always complain about it, is let's do some proper preparation. First and foremost, I think it'd be nice to see if we can potentially check up on our, I guess our thermites, see how many we have. So we have 3, not a ton. I just want to show you guys where a vendor is that sells these things for us, actually. So if you go and teleport, you can always go to the Malum District area right by the Red Lobster Inn. And this vendor here is going to sell a lot of the throwables that we can purchase. And it's really nice because most of the vendors actually have a very finite, inventory. So once you purchase certain things, they're just done. So they don't really serve much of a purpose. But others allow you to purchase things infinitely, and that's fun. Good fun indeed. So all we can do is just climb up this ladder here, and we've already shown him the badge. And as a matter of fact, there's some unique dialogue if we revisit him after defeating the Black Rabbit Brotherhood.
Oh, you defeated the Black Rabbits? I sure wasn't expecting that. No more bosses means no more worries. Of course I'll open the shop for the guy who freed the Malum District. Take all the time you need.
But how about the discounts, bro? But anyways, he has all the throwables, so pretty much an infinite amount of those, so you can grab as many as you like. For example, we can grab, like, I don't know, say 10 of these, 10 of these. We should be good to go, right? Lovely. Got some extras just for the road, Alright, so now all we can do is just drop down here, go back to the Stargazer, and then what we forgot to do last stream was visit our friend in the Barren Swamp. Remember, we saved subject 826, and we were able to obtain the final gesture, which was happy. So we're going to go to the Barren Swamp, and right next to this, Stargazer is our nameless friend. We're going to teach him the happy emotion, show him what it looks like, and then that'll actually complete his side quest. Remember, we did defeat or kill Arlecchino, the King of Riddles, in the last stream, but we're not going to talk to Venini until a little bit later. We're going to grab a cryptic vessel first.
Hello, my only friend. What did you come to tell me?
Hi. Let's teach him about happiness.
It feels good. Like being hugged by the sun. It is a brilliant feeling. Like the start of spring. Thanks.
There you have it. Now we got the Dark Moon Moonstone of the Covenant.
I think I've learned something about humans. If I make human friends someday, I'll tell you. You may not always be my only friend, but you'll always be my first friend.
And we get a quartz. There you go. So we've completed his quest line now. Now we can teleport to the Stargazer located at the Broken Rift. So we've breached the outer walls. We're in the rift right now, which is pretty much a series of scaffolding. And then we're going to go inside to, like, eventually the prayer room, where we can face off with the main boss, which is going to be pretty difficult. A few things about that boss that we can try and consider right before when we reach the Stargazer, but a few different strategies we can take. Alright, so from the Stargazer, obviously you'll notice that big guy right there. There's tons of different types of enemies here, and lots of, the mist kind of makes it a little easier to get lost, and it seems like there's lots of pathways, but there's really not. Okay, so one thing I'm going to show you is we're going to bring him down in just a moment, but a lot of these pathways are either dead ends or they circle around to each other. Okay, so just be mindful of that. What we're going to do, though, is bring this beautiful guy down. Remember, he is infected or afflicted or whatever, so he has those tendril attacks as well. So he doubles up. We'll get behind him just to do some extra damage, have him turn around. So he hits, you know, usually in series of 2s. There you go, buddy. That took forever. Mind your durability, because there's going to be plenty of these instances where we fight, you know, we fight actually one more of those giant guys. But here we have an actual room we can enter. No trap here, but there will be enemies hanging from the ceilings or ducked away in the corners. I guess the only, I'd say no ambush, but there certainly is a trap. That plate there is no fun. So just so you can know, there is a pathway down here, but we're going to circle around to that. And if we go this route, we can actually clear out all the enemies, getting the extra experience, and getting any additional items along the way too. So, love it. Trying to not aggro the other guy, but he's kind of being a jerk. Come here, little guy. Yeah, jerk. Okay, there he is. Just trying to avoid you, sir. Lovely. Lovely. Alright, you're next. And again, you can use all kinds of things for those guys. There's so many, though. I don't suggest using your thermites because we're going to need those for later. But if you tuck around here, there's going to be another fool. These guys are so annoying. I swear, like, the torso enemies are one of the most difficult just because they're so low to the ground. And they're actually really powerful. Like, that combo right there can do some crazy damage. And you've seen how powerful they are back in the Krat Central Station area. Alright. So now we're going to work our way down here. This is the room next to the area that we could have gone downstairs in that I showed you in the previous little section, if you will. Alright. Just be careful because there are going to be enemies that come from the ceiling as well, so don't move too much. Bring the enemies to you just for the sake of ease. Sake of convenience. See, there's an enemy right there where my head's located. We're going to try and aggro all these guys, of course. We want him first since he's kind of more mobile, so he's going to be a more immediate threat for us. We're just going to bring him in, do a charged R2 and R1 spam. Bring in this buddy right here as well. We're not shy. Alright. We still have this area over here, and eventually we will be going to that. We got this guy, though, we got to deal with. There you go. We can grab this item. Half Moonstone. As I said in the previous stream, the drops are just phenomenal now. You get all kinds of, you know, half moonstones, full moonstones. It's just wonderful. Thing of beauty. Now the loot is good. Ow. Alright, we got him out of the way. Now remember, we are going to actually come to this in just a moment, but I like to circle around to this at the very end because there's one more large enemy we'll have to face off with. And he doesn't aggro unless you, of course, go from the other side, so you're safe on this side. Oh my gosh. He throws his little tantrum, so funny. Alright, the fire should kill him, very nice. Don't forget to grab all these items along the way. As per usual, they're typically Fable Catalysts and things like that. Check on your durability, and then Just wanted to show you this ladder. We'll be coming back around to this ladder quite a bit. On the other side of this is an item. We're going to get that, but don't rush to it, because if you do, you'll get ambushed by another big puppet, similar to the one we fought, actually the exact same type we fought as the first enemy in this section. Come on, genius. I want him over here, because if we go too far forward, it'll aggro that big puppet. So there's still smaller enemies we need to take out first. So remember, this is a slow and steady kind of area. Definitely not one we want to rush through. Too many powerful enemies. And just wait till we get up top. They get even worse. Fire should kill him, and then we bring the torso over here. He's just being shy for whatever reason. Ow. No! My gosh, that's not what I meant to do. There you go. Fire damage is giving that DOT we need all the time. Damage over time. Such good status effect. I love fire. Okay, so just so that you know, there's a shortcut near the pathway where we could have gone downstairs, taken that immediate right. Instead, what we did is we went from here, which is the beginning area, went straight here, and we fought the big enemy and went around. You could just go straight down here, but again, you're missing some stuff, so I would suggest you don't do that, because if you don't clear out the enemies like in that specific order, it's easy to get kind of, let's say, caught up and all that. Anyway, so here you have yet another ambush. I like to clear out all these little rooms just to make sure they don't aggro while I'm fighting if I have to cover some ground. And big slam, boom, right there. Okay. Once he does that slam that's with both tendrils, then you know he's done throwing his little bit. Alright. So now we got the big guy. We'll be facing off with the big guy next. Remember, he doubles up on his attack, so don't get too comfortable. Darn it. There you go. Cut him right in half. That's the way I'd like to go. Alright. That's the way I'd like to go. So now we can grab this item right here. Get the fire abrasive. Of course, this is hinting towards the items that you should be using, or the element that's most effective, which I really love about this game. It does teach you quite a bit. And there's just an empty cell. Nothing here. I'd like to show you guys, and there's no illusory wall or anything. Haven't found an illusory wall yet in this game. So, anyways, now we circle around. So from the gate, we're gonna circle back around. Just kind of make a series of rights, series of right turns. Now, I want to show you this right now because this can get a little confusing, but this gate right here will open once we pull a certain lever. Just keep in mind that it's the left gate, although there's two gates in this section, okay? It's going to be the section where the ladder is, okay? So it's just a little confusing, but there's a lot of gates here, right? 1, 2, and 3. It's this one that I'm facing that'll open once we pull the lever. And remember, it's in the area where the ladder is. Not the shortcut ladder, but the actual ladder. So we're going to climb up here. We're going to grab this item. No ambush, fortunately. And then we're going to activate this shortcut. This is excellent because in the event we die, we can immediately come right back here without any trouble. So this next section is kind of annoying because we have some more powerful enemies than the ones we've faced before. So we've seen these guys once or twice before. So backstabs, as always, is probably the most efficient way to handle them. and then they kind of rage a bit. Normally, they both don't aggro at the same time. But anyway, so from here, you just want to make a left. There's actually nothing over here. We got another powerful enemy, though, to face off with first. And this is where I would suggest, you know, if you want, you can use, you know, your different thermites and things like that along the way. I wouldn't go crazy with it. But I would love to start him on fire, but he's just not wanting to catch, and that's fine. Ow. He's, oh my god, he's crazy with it today. And he's not even the toughest enemy here. We still have another friend. Back away, because that'll kill you in no time at all. Rush him, get the critical. We'll finish him off. And wow, that was stressful. Okay, so now we can go this way. We're going to switch from our thermites to our electric cells. Throwing cells, but they do electricity damage. Let's go grab this chest. This is our reward for the tough area. We get the mechanical cryptic vessel. I did mention that there was a vessel, right, earlier, so I wasn't lying. And then I forgot, actually. This is a good opportunity to hit him from afar. I missed the second one, but that's okay. We can aggro him, get him over here, because guess what? There's going to be another powerful enemy we have to face off with. He is no fun, so. He is no fun to deal with at all, so I'd certainly suggest being as cheap as possible. Even if you want to, at this point, switch to your electric coil, you could certainly do that. But here we have big guy. He's going to bust through any second now. Oh, of course, he saw me a mile away. This guy is so annoying. Oh gosh, he's scary. Okay. And he just keeps spamming, so that's fun. And he killed us. So yeah, well, it's okay that I die. I'm actually fine with dying there because now I can show you, if you die, the quickest path or the quickest shortcut. Now you will have to face off with one of those big guys again. Not both of them, but the puppets that are infected or infested. But yeah, that guy's really annoying. There's just not a lot you can do to defeat him. So we just make a series of rights here. So we're going to make the first right turn that's available. If you sprint past these guys, you'll avoid getting hit, and there's the ladder. This is the shortcut we just dropped. So I'm okay with dying there. It's fine. I accept that I died there. Now we have this little gauntlet of enemies to face off with. This is going to be fun. Maybe this will allow me to build up my Fable meter, though, so I can do my Fable art on the big guy. Nice interruption there. There you go. He just didn't want to die. We'll bring this guy over here. Big swing, and then we can do our big swing. Finish him off. Let's get this guy out of the way too, because he could aggro from afar, especially if I'm running around from the Jester. That's the killer Jester guy. He's so annoying. That's just an annoying enemy. This guy doesn't bother me much, but the Jester... always a problem. And if you want, I mean, you can switch your amulets to those damage dealing amulets that increase the damage for puppets and all that. Now, these guys will fight each other actually, so not a terrible thing, but he doesn't deal too much damage. Try and get this critical on him with this fatal attack. Remember to alternate between your lights and heavies. And that's that. There you go. See, so not terrible, but certainly not an enemy I love to fight because he's quite unpredictable. But anyways, we can go ahead and switch. Actually, I was going to increase my durability, but no need to repair the weapon. We're not going to be using that for quite some time. So now we go up the staircase where the jester came from. We fight a big boy here. Normally this guy would be dead because we already took him out, but he's not because we died. Get behind him. Get in some cheap shots. Oh my goodness gracious. Come down here, big guy. Where'd you go? You know you can. That's unfortunate that okay, he doesn't want to come down. That's fine. So we'll go back up to him. Showcasing that shortcut yet again. That's all I'm doing. I did that on purpose. Alright, we can go around. All you gotta do is make this left, and then we're gonna go up the stairs where the jester was. But that enemy normally wouldn't be there if you're able to defeat the jester and all, then clear out this entire area in one clean sweep. Unfortunately, we died, but I am glad I was able to show you the shortcut. Doesn't want to die, does he? Alright, good stuff. So we have this lever here. This lever, of course, is going to unlock the area that I mentioned earlier. There's nothing if you jump across. I mean, this is a missed opportunity here. I wish there was a chest or something back there, but there's not. So there isn't an item you can get. But you do pull this lever, and then we're going to go back the way we came. It's going to open up that gate that we talked about. Remember, there are 3 gated doors, so we just go back the way we came, retracing our steps, and then it's like, okay, there's 1 gate, right? So now at least you know you're heading the right way. And then if you look here, we have gate open, gate closed. So there you go. We know we're in the right area, so we just go down the ladder, and then we're going to go to the open gate. Now, this is another kind of fun one. We have, oh my gosh, if you wouldn't have died, we wouldn't have to deal with these fools. But we died, so let's go ahead and clear this area out. What I was trying to say is, we have one of those little jumpy guys. Remember the little jumping Pinocchio-looking dudes? We've got more of them. And they're unpredictable. I can't time how to dodge their grab attacks yet. There's only like 2 in the entire game, so they're quite difficult to time, you know, how to dodge and all that. So I have a tough time with them. So I would suggest, you know, of course, having your throwing cells if you have them. You can get a few cheap shots actually on them, which is nice. And then you can go ahead and equip your coil. So right up here, after you grab this item, you can see our little friend. So we'll grab this real quick. And we'll throw this. He actually gets stuck up there. For a bit, anyways. He'll drop down eventually, though, but... Ow. Ow. Yeah, he's so unpredictable for me. I have a hard time blocking him or dodging his attacks. But stay behind him if you can. It's always a good thing. Alright, so he's dead and you get quartz, so that's not a bad thing. Now, we can head up this ladder. There's nothing else here in this room. It was just an ambush, pretty much. You'll see there's a whole dedicated area for him. Like this whole series of platforms there behind us. Okay, so... this area is kind of interesting. We're going to have the enemies that... they have the cane. I don't know if you recall them. They look kind of... they remind me of Mr. X from Resident Evil, actually. There is a butterfly here, so we got to rush it before it gets in, you know, the path of danger here. You don't want it to get past these stairs, because if you do, you're going to aggro Mr. X. So come up here, and then he should be walking his path. There's going to be two enemies that come up. There he is. Usually he can see you from here. If he sees you from here, sometimes the second enemy won't follow along, and then there's a third as well. Let's see if we can get his attention though. Come on. There. Alright, yeah, everybody aggro, that's fine. Lovely. He's just ready to stab me. Remember, hitting them and their little canister is the key. But if you have all these other enemies to fight, it's no fun. Oh gosh. Alright. You got me anyways. That's no fun. These guys are being jerks. They normally aren't so bad. But hey, we survived it. That was an absolute gauntlet. Normally, you only get 2 of these enemies that aggro, and you don't get the big guy that explodes, because now the enemies that have those big heavy hands, they explode and they spread decay. So here's one. Normally, you know, this guy won't aggro unless you would have stepped forward, which, you know, we saved, but one always comes from here, and you typically, at worst, will get the second one that was standing right here before the Mr. X comes. So that's pretty annoying, but hey, we survived it, right? Back away. Make sure they don't kill you with that explosion. It'll either knock you away or just cause a lot of decay damage, which is no fun at all. Alright, so we'll be grabbing that item in just a second. But we have to deal with this guy first. Mind the decay explosion. And you can come up this ramp. Grab this right here. Now, this is where we're going to be dealing with some more tomfoolery, but we have a little shortcut and stuff first. So, before you go downstairs, actually come this way. You get a free shot on this guy. And then right when he's getting up, that should be the trick. There you go. That should do the trick. Before you go downstairs, go up instead, and that we can take out the Waluigi that's trying to snipe you. Alright, so I'm lazy, so I'm not going to go down, so we're going to go right here. Now we can safely grab this Resplendent Ergo chunk, and then you can already see it. This, of course, is going to lead to our Stargazer. So we will be tagging it so we can replenish our heals. Now we have a shortcut, so if you die, all you do is you make an immediate left, climb up the ladder, and you are good to go. The only thing is we will have to take out the Waluigi again. We have a few tough enemies, actually, that we're going to face off with, so prepare yourselves. But we got Waluigi over here, and then we've got another tricky butterfly situation. So first things first, we're going to equip some thermite cells. We have two enemies that are going to drop down on our heads. There he is. Make sure you use the puppet string. We don't want to cross a certain threshold because the dimensional butterfly will appear a little too early for us. And we don't want that. So an inch forward until you can get your thermite cells going. That should be enough to kill him with just the one. If he doesn't, he'll actually could come over here and it's fine too. We can just puppet string him. That'll finish him off. Alright, so now we have to be careful because we have a dimensional butterfly to deal with. I like using the coil. I've mentioned that multiple times because it just seems to have a little bit more of a stun effect. So walk on this beam carefully, sprint, lock onto him, and swing away. And that should do the trick. Alright, so immediately to our right, we have another enemy, but I'm going to switch back to my salamander dagger, and we're at a range where we're not going to be attacked, so come back this way towards like the thicker beams, and then sprint behind. Get the backstab. I do want to point out that there is a ladder you can take, but I suggest you don't take that actually. I prefer to take this path here because you can drop down and grab these items. So you don't always have to follow the rules. You can be a bit of a rebel sometimes. Falling attack there. Sprint behind the disruption guy. Okay, or not. There you go. We've got some disruption dogs around here as well, so if you want to take them out before they start spewing their poison. Okay. We'll let that cool down a bit, that meter cool down before we go and fight more, but as we're doing that, I'm going to show you that there's another enemy here, and there's one behind those barrels to the right, so we've got all kinds of friends just wanting to play. So normally what I do, I just go straight for him. He's the one that's really trying to ambush us. You can puppet string this one over. Do your charge and then your light attacks. He's dead. We can get a reward for that tough area. Get the Red Fox's amulet. That increases a few of your stats actually. And we circle around here to grab the very last item, which is the cluster grenade. So, oh no. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. It happens. Totally happens. Alright, so we have that ladder. That's the ladder that I told you can take if you opt for it. We have some more of those Mr. X enemies with canes coming up. We have two. Gotta be careful here. I like to fight them kind of back in this corner. That way I don't accidentally fall off. It's super easy to do so. Wait for that big attack that he does. We already broke his cane, so he's going to be much less of a threat now. Once the weapon's broken, you can be much more aggressive. You don't have to worry so much about timing your guards and all. You can just, hey, I mean, I always like to try to mitigate the damage, but once you break the weapon, it's fair game. Alright, so here we got this one back into the corner. There you go, broke his weapon anyway, so that also helps. if we hadn't broken the weapon, he does that two-handed strike. You circle around, you break the canister, and that's a done deal. Alright, so back this way. We want to go down this ladder first. There's a special item you can get. It's a quartz, if I recall correctly, but you have like this Indiana Jones gauntlet first. So let's grab the full moonstone first. Now this area is kind of tricky. It's actually weird because it's hard to see like where you need to stand. So here is a safe spot, and then right before the blood is a safe spot, and then this giant platform's a safe spot. You gotta watch out. You should be okay though. Before the blood's a safe spot again, and then you just sprint. Just spam R1, don't do anything crazy, otherwise you'll die. Or you have the risk of dying enemies and falling off, so don't do that. Grab the quartz. Then we can pull this lever, and that actually deactivates this entire like little series of traps here. So that's it. That's it for this area. There's actually nothing else. It's interesting, but there isn't anything else. So trust me. Now we can go back up the ladder, and we'll go down that other pathway that was open for us. Right here. So we have a pretty tough enemy that's coming up. I would suggest grabbing both your attribute resistance ampule and your attribute purification ampule, because this enemy deals tons of shock damage, absolutely tons of it, and it's so annoying. So, I mean, even if you want, you can switch to your shock converter. I think I typically run shock with this character, so there you go. We got the electric shock resistance and the shock converter, and we're gonna pop this right here. So yeah, definitely do it, because this guy can be quite annoying. It's a very unique enemy, mostly because it's a weapon. Ow. What is the problem, sir? Remember, shock messes up your stamina regeneration, as well as increases the physical damage you take. I can't believe I didn't pull that off. That's unfortunate. He takes a big bite out of crime. Oh gosh. You're not nice. Watch out for that, because he has the follow-up attack there. Oh, my heart. There you go. And it's okay to spam your heals if you need to here. He won't come back, so. Oh, my heart. Gets me every time. Remember, you can heal yourself of this. Jerk. But shock is really bad for stamina, I mean, I tell you. Alright, so he's dead, finally. Good gosh. We can get rid of all this junk here. I'm disappointed. Why didn't it cure shock? Removes shock. It certainly did not. Oh, it was electric shock. My bad. My bad. So I had shock, not electric shock. They're actually different, believe it or not. They do have different effects, so that's my mistake for not clarifying that. So in that instance, you would have actually wanted to have your special resistance ampule and your special purification ampule, because it's specifically shock, not electric shock. They're both bad, but... Alright, so now we're going to come up here. Look, so he was using this as a weapon. He's crazy. We've got 22,000 ergo to our name, so we'll probably do some leveling here. All we do is make our way up this ladder. And we'll head over to the prayer room, and that's of course the area preceding the boss room. So just off in this corner you have a lift, and then you have this over here. You can grab this carcass body fluid bottle. Again, the game teaches you kind of what you need to focus on and use, and this is kind of the discussion we're going to have before we jump into the boss fight. This is a nice long lift ride, so we'll kind of start chatting about it here. So Laxasia has two weapons. She has a sword and a shield. The shield is incredibly annoying because in her first phase, this is one of those two phasers, she has 2 full life bars, which is great, my favorite. In her first phase, she actually is heavily armored, and the shield protects her back. So if you hit the back, you actually have this strange animation, like this deflection animation, where it's like, ouch, like that kind of wasn't a successful strike. We'll read this really quickly. I was the first to be completed. I will go forth on my own into the new world. This is Laxasia talking, of course. Or Laxasia. Alright, so anyways, we want to do what we can to destroy the shield. Now you can do a number of heavy strikes to break the shield, or you can also rely on things like upgrading your arm, right? So if we have, say, this arm equipped, for example, we're going to have a Pandemonium, I believe. You can use it, and what that does is that's going to actually create like this pool, and it helps increase the acidity, and acidity breaks weapons, right? So that's something you can do. I actually suggest using this arm for this because you can kind of just spray it on her. Of course, we're going to use the Spectre, but what I normally do, I'm giving you guys these tips because normally I do things just slightly differently. We're going to go to Hotel Krat first and upgrade our Pandemonium arm, but what I would do, and then what I did in my first playthrough, is I used the what is it, the Sword of Two Dragons? It's the sword you get from the Barren Swamp, the special weapon from that boss creature. Let's find out what I use. Yeah, I use the Two Dragons sword, and that, I would say, requires a decent amount of skill because the timing and all that, but it deals so much damage. It ends up being really good. Don't talk to Venini or anything. Pass him up, pass him up. We're going to do all that at the end of this stream. So we're going to modify our Legion arm, and we're just going to crunk it up. Okay, we're just going to get as much as we can here. So we're going to max this one out. It's fine. Now we have a bunch of different skills for it. So if you look, no, okay, or not. Now we have the ability to change the direction of the pool of acid. We can change the range by charging it, so you can go even further. And then there's an acid explosion once, you know, this actual ability goes away. So like once it's done, it explodes. So I mean, you got some cool stuff, and we're gonna try it out and test it out and show you guys how to use it. But yeah, I used the Two Dragon swords on Laxasia, and that was really the most effective way for me to beat her because it just deals massive damage, and it's all about timing and parrying, and that's something that I'm typically pretty good at. So once you master the perfect guard, I think the next step is, of course, mastering the timing to execute a parry on the Two Dragon sword. And then once you've got that, you're solid. I mean, there's absolutely nothing you can't do in this game from that point forward. But all right, so a few things about this. You can hold it. It goes sideways, so you can hold it. Now, if you press triangle when you're holding L2, it changes the direction, so you can go horizontally or you can go vertically, right? So that's the vertical line. I like to use the vertical line, to be honest, because typically when I'm facing an enemy, that's the direction I'm just fighting them in. So, and again, once the pool disappears, it blows up, causes a bunch of acidity damage, and of course that will help break the weapon. So, you know, few things. I like it. I think it's definitely something we can use. It's not one that I rely on heavily, or I used it just for fun, just experimenting with it on New Game Plus and all that. But to be honest, I said, okay, that's fun. But I went right back to my 2 Dragon Sword strategy. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and level up. We're still slightly heavy, which is just disgusting to me. So we'll go ahead and bump that up a bit. Yeah, it's just so gross. I don't know why we're so heavy. Let's see. And what are we rocking right now? Leaping Amulet, Patience Amulet. So we'll go ahead and run with the Carrier's Amulet. We're going all the way. 47. Now, I would also suggest that you go ahead and have any shock resistance, electric shock and shock, because, man, this enemy deals tons of shock damage. So let's prepare for that. But long story short, our goal is to break her shield in the first phase, so that the second phase is much easier. We're going to go over quite a bit during the fight, but first things first, let's go ahead and summon our Spectre. And let's do the damn thing. Alright, so with phase 1, first thing you want to do is lay a nice pool of goop right here. She's usually going to charge you. She's got 1 or 2 different things she can do here. We just jump away from it. She's going to start spamming her attack here. She's got a huge combo here. It's not the worst, but certainly can be annoying or pretty intimidating at first. Remember, the shield is quite annoying. You're going to want to do fully charged heavy attacks. You know what? I don't have my HUD on. How did that happen? Girl, don't scare me like that. Electric shock for days, I'm telling you. There you go, we broke the shield. Back away, back away, back away. Dodge. We'll go ahead and get the stun on her. Now, once you stun her, she will actually get a little cheap shot on her, and try to anyway, so. Make sure we get the fatal. Alright.
Your sword, Vexasia, swears to protect this tower.
Alright, so first things first, check your durability. Throw a pull of this goop, and then get ready to perfectly deflect any stray things that come your way. Sadly, She just didn't do it this time, and she's going straight for the Spectre, which is really unfortunate. I would love it if she actually attacked me. There you go. Not one of those cheap shots, though. Reason why is because I wanted her to target me with those electric attacks. You can deflect those for massive damage. If she swings her sword, that's the timing to do it. But yeah, that sucks. We're gonna be in for a good fight here. She's no fun, I mean, at all. She can deal some crazy damage. Alright, now we're gonna back away. 1, 2, and then she does an electric shock, so just back away. We're gonna come in close. And then get the fatal. Back away from the Kamehameha thing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. Couldn't really see. That's okay. Terrible angle. He's doing the things, being cheap. Why are you doing that? She's being so cheap right now. Spamming those attacks. Dodge away from that. And that's Luxasia, the complete. Had we gotten the aggro, or pulled the aggro from that first part, we would have been able to deal probably, 25% of her health bar. But she was fixated on our Spectre, which he did good. He did good. Goodbye, Luxasia. It's been real. Slash her dead body. We got the sad Zealot's Ergo. We're going to repair this Stargazer here. And now we're going to head to Hotel Krat. We have a lot of loose ends to tie up here. So Hotel Krat. Now if you noticed, immediately after defeating Luxasia, Subject 826 will now appear here at Rosa Isabel Street. So I'm going to show you that first, and then we're going to return to Hotel Krat. Remember, Subject 826 was the tall guy that was being forced to consume Ergo to read the memories. So we're actually going to be speaking with him. Remember, it's not a bad idea just for this little sequence to switch over to, oh, can't change here. Switch over to the coil. But yeah, I think that Pandemonium's important for that particular sequence. That Legion arm is going to help break Luxasia's shield. If not, you just got to focus some charge attacks on that shield while maybe the Spectre's pulling some aggro for you. Take out these enemies just along the way. I want to be able to get there without being chased by an army of puppets. So we're going to go down this way. Remember, this game does an excellent job of telling you that, hey, there's some side quest progression you can make. So we're going to go down this way. And we're going to head straight up these steps. I'm gonna show you guys something really, really incredible as well on the way back. All right. Do not go too far to the left, or you aggro the second soldier, but instead make our way to the right. Make your way to the right, and then here on Rosa Isabelle Street, you'll see our little friend.
Nice to see you again. I thought if I got a second chance, I'd go to where my heart's content. I never expected to get out alive. Oh, it's overwhelming, even now. Want to take a look at what I have? I grabbed a couple of things before taking off. It's a new life, a new attitude, and simple pleasures like ordinary conversation. Nice loot, yeah? If you need anything, just say the word.
Let's go ahead and talk with him for a bit.
I used to be a fan of the actress Patricia, not the red actress Adelina, but her sister. Patricia had an angelic voice like her sister. If she'd become famous, they would have called her the White Goddess. But her career was cut short. She took poison and ruined her throat. I've only read others' memories, so I don't know the details, but the memories people had of her songs. You should have heard her voice in her prime. Something transcendent like that. Makes you feel alive. I survived, so I'm seeking out experiences like that. So, any more questions?
You know, the funny thing, or I should say the tragic thing, is that we know the details of what occurred. Adelina was the one who poisoned her sister Patricia, and that is why she sabotaged her throat and her ability to sing so that she could take all the glory. So that's really, really bad. All right, let's go ahead and see about what he saw. Let's ask him about what he saw, I suppose.
Sightseeing? You bet I did.
He's so funny.
It's the House of Cards, the theatre, the Ferris wheel. There's so much to see. Although most of it has burned down now, I suppose. The most fascinating thing, I couldn't believe it. The writing on the back of a made puppet. I read memories, but still, any way you look at it, it's the made puppet's words. Probably designed like that. What kind of puppet would write that stuff? Still, it was weird. You should see it for yourself.
We'll ask for something else and look at what he purchases now. What he sells, actually. He sells a few things. A unique weapon, the Carcass Crystal Axe Blade. And also, the White Lady's Hunting Apparel, which we will purchase. And the LADA Disruption Cartridge. So these are all the unique items. We're going to get all of these, actually. In New Game Plus, you can purchase the golden version of, I believe, Fascination, which is the golden record. And that's that.
Nice loot, yeah? If you need anything, just say the word.
So remember, he was referring to a maid puppet. Now, the most interesting thing of all is, remember Julian the Gentleman? We had a quest with him where we actually were able to obtain a wedding ring. And he gave us this wedding ring because he just wanted some belongings from the puppet that he fell in love with. They were unable to get married, if you recall. Now, interestingly enough, I think it's very odd that, you know, they had two options. One option was to apparently lie and say, yes, I read the message she left behind. She says she loves you very much. Or the second option was, you know, no, like, you know, and pretty much in the event that you deny him, his delirium or whatever, you actually, well, I don't want to spoil it, but I guess I go ahead and will. So if you lie, right, if you choose the apparent lie option, he gives you the wedding ring, and he's happy, and he moves on. Even though there was no such message, right? If you tell him with the apparent, alleged truth that there was nothing and puppets can't love or whatever else, he actually ends up dying, and when he dies, you can find the bloody wedding ring on him. So it's a very unique variation of this particular subquest or side quest. Now, after speaking with Subject 826, if you have taken the lie choice, something very interesting happens. This is where we found the puppet. Remember, the maid puppet. and the black dress. But there is some scribbling on the wall. Let's see what it says. I love you, Julian. So I don't know about you, but that gave me chills when I first read it. I realized that, oh my gosh, yet another hint towards the fact that the puppets really did feel, and she actually did write a message. So that's why we didn't get punished for lying and telling him that she did love him and she had left him a message, because it was in fact true. Not only that, but had it not been true, it was the compassionate or more human thing to do, which resulted in the ergo change that we experienced. But again, I think that's just such an incredible detail, and when I saw that, I was just shocked. But anyways, what an amazing game. So now we're going to return to Hotel Krat, close out all the side quests. We've got a ton of different things that we need to do before we end this stream, and then the next stream should be the final stream. We'll have actually 3 bosses, so it's going to be a bit of an extended stream. We'll have 3 bosses to face off, a whole gauntlet of area, and then 2 bosses back to back. Well, you know, I misspeak. Technically it is 2 bosses, but if you're being really, you know, critical, it's kind of more like 3. So we're going to go to Hotel Krat, and there's you know, some pretty sad things that have occurred in our absence. Let's talk to Polendina first.
With unsurpassed sorrow, I must announce Lady Antonia has passed away. As she entered immortality, she seemed at peace. Her face was calm, and she wasn't in pain. It is all thanks to you. Without your most difficult of choices, she would never have found such peace. As for me, I am bereft of emotion. My life, or what passes for it, has lost meaning. It feels like pain has swallowed me whole. Thus I plan to erase my heart and become an ordinary puppet. This will be my last conversation with you as Polendina. Despite how it ended, I thank you for the kindness, bravery, and beautiful moments you showed me.
Alright, so the next time we chat with Polendina, he's going to have wiped his memory and his heart.
Welcome to Hotel Krat. How may I be of service?
That's it, guys. Unfortunately, Polendina is no more. So, a pretty tragic end. And here we have more quartz we can go ahead and pick up along the way. That at least is good news. Let's see. We have plenty of other individuals to chat with. First and foremost, we'll need to go ahead and continue the conversation, as you can see down the icons, with Antonia's story. So let's go upstairs. And in Antonia's wheelchair, she'll have left behind something for us. The cherry-scented letter. To the wonderful gentleman who gave my precious time back to me. That time I met you was light itself. Whether you're that child or not, I think you're a kind, precious child. Thank you for giving my joy back to me in my last moments. To the young gentleman who resembles Carlo. Antonia Sarasani. And we also get the Memory of Beach record, which is, again, this is unique to completing her side quest by giving her the cure. Had we not given her the cure, we would not obtain this record, nor we would have obtained that cherry-scented letter. So this is certainly what I feel is the canonical choice to make. We can go ahead and sit in the chair and access the P organ. Equip a few more pieces of quartz. We have tons. We have so much. Okay, so we've just been going through the game without worrying about it, haven't we? Alright, let's go ahead and equip this real quick. Let's see what all choices we have here. Increase pulse cells, yes please. Never a bad thing. Let's see. Enhances Fable charging. Oh yeah, that's good. Alright. Shortened fruit bearing time, fruit slots. Amulet would be nice. Break the enemy stance when a perfect guards. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that one. So I think these are good. And I actually like this one as well. The special stone uses. Oh, this entire phase 4 is perfect. So I would say out of all of these, probably this and then this. Okay, so let's see what else we can do here. Increase weapon attack when discharged, lower weapon durability consumption. Yeah, that'd be nice. Or that. Oh, they're both kind of good. Okay, so that's fine. Auto charge pulse when discharged. Yes, please. Let's see. Perfect guard fable enhance 1. That's not bad. We haven't really used the special grindstone yet. There's some pretty good ones though. We'll do that for now, and then we'll go ahead and add the additional amulet slot. Alright, stagger duration. You gotta love that. Yeah, stagger duration is wonderful. I absolutely love it. Increase pulse cells, of course. Perfect guard, fable charge. Oh yeah, for sure. Auto charge legion's actually really good too. Just by walking around, your legion charges, so that's never a bad thing. But perfect guard's the way to go. You can always upgrade another one here, but you have this is the final phase for this section of the game. In New Game Plus, you actually open up a phase 6. So you get, you know, increase the staggerable window, you get another arm slot, or regain, you know, you regain health. Guard regain, as they call it. Fable slots are good. I think we're going to go for that one, actually. And then in the next 3 quart pieces that we get, we'll go ahead and activate phase 5. You can actually, just so that you know, once you unlock the phase, you can start moving direct to that, but I'm going to go with phase 4. Phase 4 to me is incredible. It's got some really good stuff. So we're going to enhance our fatal attack. And then from here, let's see, I saw something good here. Maybe it was here. Auto charge legion, durability. The item type is really specific to like holding more items and things like that, so. Weapon durability, let's see. Auto charge legion would be good. I guess we can do something here. Let's see. Enhanced special resistance isn't terrible because we're going to have a lot of disruption users. So not bad. We'll do that for now. Alright, we've used up all of our quartz. Can you imagine that we were just running around without all that? It's not a problem though. Alright, now let's go chat with Venigni. But before we do that, I do want to take a look at the collectible that we got from Arlecchino. It's the Moon World Warrior toy, a souvenir from the family murders obtained from the King of Riddles Arlecchino. It is someone's handiwork left unfinished. The boy's thoughtful parents wanted to make a toy inspired by the warrior and the fantastic movie for their beloved son. However, the toy was never finished. So that's pretty interesting. Let's talk with Venigni.
The toy? But how? The toy my parents made me. You've met him. Arlecchino. We had just watched one of my favorite films, I remember. I begged them to make me the warrior from it. If I hadn't, would my parents still be alive? Would we have been untouched by that murderous puppet? I've always blamed myself. It's a hell of a burden for a child, that kind of guilt. So I hung on. I hung on to the Grand Covenant. I wanted to use it to keep people safe. You know, in many ways, I envy you. Your strength. Thank you for this. Talk about closure.
All right.
The hotel seems truly empty now that Lady Antonia has departed. She was the closest person I had, you know? All that with my parents happened when I was just a child. These halls are truly cavernous now without her. And her music. She was a terrific pianist before she fell ill. Now it's up to us to protect this hotel. Her home and ours. Losing someone never gets easier. I always welcome friends. May I be of service?
We've got him to, well, we need him to actually decipher the cryptic vessel, so we got him a new one. The mechanical cryptic vessel, we need him to go ahead and break out for us.
Ooh, how
Or
long did you
decode.
take me to decipher it? Time me. Ecco, all done and all yours. For a layman, it would have been a tough nut to crack, even for a replica. Child's play for me, of course. I bet you could make a fortune by solving the code behind it all. But why the Grand Covenant, I wonder? Apologies, my friend. I became lost in thought. Please take it.
Alright, so now, this one's pretty interesting, and it could be a little tricky, like you may or may not understand it, but I did mention it in one of my previous streams, so I think the hints actually do a really good job of telling you what to do, as opposed to some of the other earlier Souls-like titles. They just are so cryptic, and it's so easy to miss side quests because they're just not really telling you anything. The ambiguity is just murder. But anyways, and here they actually are really good. The pictures kind of give it all. Orders. The train doesn't leave anymore, and the merchant awaits a frozen feast in the destroyed town. Appendix. An order form is attached for mutual trust. No gender preference. A request for bastard-style stalker equipment. Refer to the daughter of the Wolf family, code-named Fox's equipment. Please obtain it by crafting or check if there's an extra in stock. Even though she's cut ties with the Wolf family, she's still a Wolf. She's got a good eye and the best equipment. Maybe we can look her up when we're upgrading our equipment. Alright, so now we have another stop to make, but first, let's go ahead and rest at the Stargazer so we can trigger a new sequence.
Might I have a moment, puppet of Geppetto?
He's never really spoken out to us like that before, right? So let's see what he has to say.
Ah, good. I was a bit concerned my voice wouldn't even reach you. It has been so very long since I spoke out of turn. You see, I too have been awakened. I have an ego, as Master Venigni would say. And I have been this way for some time. At least since Master Lorenzini was a child. He had no one else, you see. His parents. I'm sure you've heard of their terrible fate. And he had to see it all. But Master Lorenzini is stronger than most people suspect. A puppet was the killer. We both knew it. But if we had told the authorities, they might have removed me from the household as well. The young master would have been alone if I had been taken away. If only I could have saved them. Now I atone for that failure by thinking only of Master Venigni's prosperity and happiness. But even I did not realize how deeply he still held that trauma. How badly that murderous puppet had scarred his soul. You have set him free. I cannot thank you enough. I am not accustomed to sharing such thoughts or feelings. But when it involves Master Venigni, please accept this gift as it truly comes from the heart. My own. We will always roll out the red carpet for you at the House of Venigni.
Alright, so we get a resplendent ergo chunk, and of course his approval, which is always good. Now we have another stop to make. If we go to the Krat, actually the best one to go to is in section 9 or chapter 9, the abandoned apartment, because if you go to the collapsed street, it's actually too far ahead and you can't go back. So we're going to go to the abandoned apartment instead, and from here I'll show you exactly what you want to do so that you can activate a secret sequence that triggers a unique black merchant to appear. So from our warp point, which is like way over here, a mile away from the Stargazer, we're going to run up here, and you know what, I am going to switch over to my Salamander Dagger because we have some fools to deal with. We got this bro, just so you know, he's not very special. He has a finite inventory. Kinda sucks. I'm all about those infinite item merchants, you know. Cross the bridge here. We're gonna break these disruption crystals. I'm gonna say hello to this friend over here. Spam, spam, spam. And he should hopefully, yep. As if on cue, he died the last swing. At least he died swinging though, you know, I respect that. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna bring these guys in. I just don't want to get attacked from, you know, while I'm shopping. While I'm transacting illegally. Alright, so we're gonna go here. And just so you know, you don't have to deal with the dogs. But what you can do, and what you should do, is you need to equip the weapon Frozen Feast. And if you've been following the guide, you will have already obtained this weapon after defeating Champion Victor. You would have traded his special ergo to Alidoro. That grants us the Frozen Feast weapon, which looks so amazing. I would love to actually play the game using this weapon. I've just never really used it before. With this weapon in hand, this merchant will appear. He's got a little bag.
Who are you? I make deals only with established clients as a rule. Oh, is it Mr. Frozen Feast? I knew only the meeting spot, not the client. I apologize for not recognizing you. Here's the item you wanted. I made it just like the uniform of that conceited stalker. Hope you like it. Looking forward to more discreet transactions, if you catch my meaning.
Absolutely. Alright.
Hope you like it.
So now we can unequip that weapon. It's not a big deal. But we did get a new costume. And that, of course, is the Red Fox's hunting apparel. It looks pretty sweet, actually. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We can wear this for the next stream, and then we'll do the white lady's outfit at the end. So now that we've got this outfit, we can head back to Hotel Krat and close things out. See, can we make this jump? Hiya! Cleared it. Totally nailed the landing too. So hey, didn't I just see you over there, buddy? Alright, so we're going to return to Hotel Krat. And I think this is an excellent point to end this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It lets me know you want more content just like this. We are approaching pretty much the very end of our guide, and I am so excited to have had you guys here with me along the way. Just want to let you know that we will be completing this guide and then jumping into a Lords of the Fallen guide, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. I always wanted to let you know as well that I really appreciate your viewership. You know, it helps keep my dream alive of being a full-time content creator. It's tough, but it's certainly something that is so rewarding, especially whenever you see those comments like, oh my gosh, this helps so much. So I really do appreciate those little comments and all that. It really makes a difference. So anyways, you guys are awesome. If you do enjoy the content and you want to support in a more personal way, I do have a Ko-fi and Patreon page that will allow you to unlock, you know, unique and exclusive perks, and also it's just a more personal way to support me as well. Super thanks are always appreciated as well, but never feel obligated that your viewership is more than enough. I hope you have a great start for your week, and until next time, it's the Inhuman One, signing out.